circle? Running the show.
Go around.
All right. Go ahead. Well, I mean, I got into comics because I love comics as a kid. I was very passionate about it, and same thing with games. I've always played video games, Pong, that kind of thing, over there at the beginning, Space Invaders. But the one that really got me hooked was EverQuest, and I just found something in an MMO that was very different than a normal video game experience, and that's playing against other people, having that kind of challenge of outwitting, outplaying other real people. And so when this opportunity came up at DC, when I heard that they were interested in this MMO, I said, oh, I have to be involved. This is something that I love playing and feel like I do something meaningful. So they wisely, I don't know. They let me come in, and I think they needed someone to oversee the creative construction of the game. And obviously, I knew something about DC Comics, and that helped out. And so here we are. No, nothing on this scale. There was a game, Batman Rise of Sin Tzu, that came out years ago, and the Joker was supposed to be the main villain at the end of the game, and I decided that it was too duplicative of another Batman game they had just done. This was on the Nintendo. So they wanted to create a brand new villain, and so they asked me to create Sin Tzu. Right that they went in the game, create this custom made for that was it. I mean, that was really at the end. They had already designed everything, and really just put this model in instead of the model. This is something great. It's been a very joyful experience. I remember flying down to the city for the first time. We all played video games and pipelines and see how much of a logistical challenge it is building a video game of this size and complexity versus creating a comic book, which is really us three could do a comic book and we'd be done in a month, and a whole different kind of experience and a different kind of mentality and different kind of energy. It's been fantastic. Shotgun what? Shotgun Ellis? You know what? I appreciate the fact that people want to play this kind of games. I like the guys that try to look tough and look more like defender of the night, that kind of stuff. But I know that people like playing the same type of characters, so if it was just an MMO of my taste, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be in there. But I fully appreciate it. Sort of unleash their inner spirit and play what they want. And that character is an awesome one. I remember when I saw that for the first time, I was like laughing, just like, it's hilarious to have that kind of stuff in the game because I think that's what makes it feel rich and real. Actually, DC Universe has a lot of that stuff in there already. Areas built in. So what you have now? Are there chances to have other inspired by Jim You can't be Elvis. I think going forward, you probably. I would imagine expansion would expand upon that, so that you get more variety. I think from like beta. No. What you see in this beta is pretty much the structure of the game. What happens between now and launch is a fine-tuning of all the missions and all that kind of stuff. But to answer your question, I mean, we have the power tree, right? Which is Magic, Tech, and Meta. And we wanted the best examples for all three. So I mean, Batwoman or Batgirl, I mean, they fall along the lines of Batman. So to have inspired by all these other characters that people might want to be inspired by or mentored by, just create a level of complexity and confusion unless you're a fan that would make the interface very difficult. Well, she's made of clay. Well, I mean, it depends on what origin you go with, but I mean, she's a goddess. I'm pretty sure they're magic. I'm not sure, but I see your point, and I think that's a good one here. It's just, I think you also want to have a variety between male characters and female characters. If you really want to challenge one, I think it was Luther as the meta villain. But anyway, so that's
what was the biggest challenge for you in build?
The biggest challenge in developing the game? For me personally, it was learning a lot about the game. There's a huge difference between being a comic book reader fan and actually reading comic book. And as huge of a divide, if not bigger, in the video game space. It's one thing to be an awesome, Modern Warfare player, and it's a different thing to sit down and actually craft a game with that kind of complexity and energy and imagination and creativity. So a big chunk of my early time was really spent sitting down with all the developers and the coders and all the people that make the game happen that you just are not aware of. And when you play a game, it's a seamless experience, and you're experiencing what you see on the screen and playing the game and hopefully believing that you're in this space and being this character on this adventure. But you don't see all the back end of the kind of networking and engineering that has to go in to make that happen. And it's very important for me to learn all that, or at least be aware of all that, because it impacts what you can do on the creative side. So to give you a bad example, you don't see like a lot of loincloths in the game that run very interactive long because or shoulder pads that are huge, because if you move them in space, they actually puncture the person's head or make it very difficult to run animations and that kind of thing. Which in comics you would never worry about that. You just draw what you thought, and if it didn't work, you would just change it and no one would notice. So there's a three-dimensional virtual reality that cannot be fudged in a game like this. And that was definitely one of the initial sort of lessons that happened.
We've all seen the CGI challenge. Now, during the step of the comic book cutscenes, is that how the story will be presented in the comic book cutscenes, or will that be in the CGI cutscenes that we've seen already?
You're distracted. So you're saying there's the trailer and then there's cutscenes.
What is the level of artistry in the in-game cutscenes?
Alright, so yeah, when you fight a boss or you do something meaningful in the game, it ends with a cutscene, which is essentially a motion comic. So if you're familiar with motion comics, but it's essentially 2D art that's done on layers and moved around and create the illusion of animation. And there's other things that actually make it look and feel a little 3D actually. And I oversaw or laid out, gosh, at least 5 or 6 of those, and I drew one of those. So it's like a little bit of storyline reward that you get after completing a mission, and it's actually very well integrated, and it works great within the fiction of the game, which is it's a superhero game, and so to have actual superhero art in the game showing you a little bit of storyline, moving that forward makes perfect sense, and it was done by the artists at Wildstorm, myself, Ryan Benjamin, and a lot of the motion comic companies that do a lot of comic comics. So I thought it was a real nice touch, and rather than having kind of posed 3D assets.
How will you ever see that? Is that a demo over here?
I haven't played this demo. The one they had at E3, they had like a Joker, Harley Quinn, motion comic that I laid out. So it's cool seeing it. you know, in fact, of all the stuff that I've done for the game, I mean, and that's like looking and revising and giving notes on all these like models that are in the game and environments. The only thing that actually is in the game that I actually handle are those cutscenes. So I'm looking forward to seeing how my big screen TV.
You said the character customization is very deep. Does this mean we're going to be able to create superheroes that aren't actually in the game yet? Like, say we have other favorite superheroes. Can we create, like, say, Wolverine or Spider-Man, for example, in this game?
It would be irresponsible to allow such a thing.
Yeah. Say Batman versus Wolverine.
Speaking as an executive, you know what? There are so many different combinations of things. I don't think certainly don't have a 3-claw option.
Yeah.
Like get a 2-claw, 1-claw. I don't know. Yeah, the goal of the character create is not to allow people to go in and create their favorite non-DC universe character. DC universe character.
No, I mean, even like characters that aren't in the DC universe. I mean, well, that aren't in the game, but are in the DC universe. Like, say, you left out some DC characters that.
It's not in there, and if it were, it would be accidental. I mean, the goal really is to create things that look like your favorite characters, whether they're in the DC universe or not. But the goal is not to give you the tools to make it look exactly like it. And I think some other games do that, or have done that. That's fine, but I mean, really, it's the DC universe online, and we want to have that kind of consistency in the game. And it's not to say you can't come close, but you know,
I'm not complaining. I was just wondering.
Give it as an option.
Yeah.
So, you squint while you're playing, maybe you can see it.
If you were to add the either
there's nothing in the character creator that they are. It's because the character has a gun and shield. How's it goggles and stuff? So Batman, per se, was a
I don't know. I haven't tried. Like a favorite location or maybe character or event or something like the game that might surprise.
You know, Arkham Asylum is pretty creepy and eerie in the game. You know, the idea is that it's very old insane asylum. It's actually an old house that was converted into an insane asylum. So it has areas that look like sort of a Victorian mansion. Then it has other areas where you can see maybe like in the 60s or 70s, there's like some sort of health mental asylum. And then you can see how that degraded over time. So there's all these kind of different areas of mental institutions